right. Good evening. The October 26, 2022 monthly meeting of the Dixon County School Board is now in session. For the record, I'd like to recognize that all of our school board members are present. Mr. Rasnick will join us very shortly, as well as Tanya Baker, Board Clerk, Scott Mullen, School Board Attorney, and Ms. Robinson, Division Superintendent. At this time, would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence? And I'd like to ask a special one as we do a moment of silence to ask for, let's just remember the Easterling family and the student that was lost in Wise County just this week.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Board members, we have an agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Mr. Hicks, there are no additions to the agenda, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. That brings us to our public comment section of our meeting. Mr. Hackney, would you please read the guidelines for public comment? And Ms. Martin, would you please be our timekeeper?
A period of time for public comment will be designated on the meeting agenda during which the public may comment on issues related to public education. The Dickinson County School Board believes that the citizens of the county should be heard and that this is an acceptable format for receiving public comment. After the public comment section of the meeting is closed, the public shall not be allowed to participate in general board member discussions regarding agenda items. Public participation with the board members regarding agenda items can be disruptive, and the practice is prohibited by Robert's Rules of Order. It is the desire of the school board to treat each member of the public fairly and equally. Allowing one individual to participate while excluding others is unfair. The board may hold such public hearings as may be necessary to allow the public to more fully express their concerns, or the board may place the public comment section of any meeting at the end of the meeting to allow additional public comment. While we do not wish to restrict the free expression of opinion, we feel that certain restrictions may be necessary so that order and reasonable standards of decorum may be maintained. We ask that the following standards be adhered. The speaker will be recognized by the chair. Each speaker will be limited to 5 minutes. Speakers will refrain from the use of vulgarity or profanity and will avoid negative or embarrassing comments directed towards specific children or students. Board members should not respond to issues presented by speakers unless clarification is necessary. Matters of concern raised under public comment will be referred to the proper official for investigation and future board consideration if necessary.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hackney. This time the board would like to recognize Kathy Music from BPE.
Good evening, Chairman Hicks. It's on, right? Yeah. Chairman Hicks, Mrs. Robinson, members of the board. My name is Kathy Music, and I work for Virginia Professional Educators. And I'd just like to remind everybody, as I did last month, that the fall submission date for our scholarships and grants is November 15th. So I just hope someone takes advantage of that and utilizes the money that's available from Virginia Professional Educators. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Music. It's time with Paul O'Quinn.
Thank you. I just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce myself. I've had the pleasure of meeting Mrs. Robinson, but for the rest of the board, I'm Paul O'Quinn. I moved back to the county about a year ago after being away for 35 years. One of the main goals in coming back is to see what I can do to help our community improve the standard of living by driving both economic development and public health. And as you can imagine, I think the school system can play a critical part in both of those things. So I do have a meeting request then with Mrs. Robinson and whomever else she would like to include, but I would be happy to discuss that further with you and see how I can plug in, help our school system, and help our community improve both our economic development and our standard of living with the goal to improve our overall, improve our public health with the overall goal of improving our standard of living. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Mr. O'Quinn.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So our next agenda item is the consent agenda, which improves the approval of minutes, the approval of monthly bills, revenue and expenditure summary, discussion of school activity funds, approval of field trips, approval of elementary school construction invoices, the approval of bank reconciliation documents, and the health statement account. Are there any questions or discussion on the consent agenda? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Go. Next agenda item is information for the school board. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you, board members, Mr. Hicks. Just a couple of items that I have. One, of course, is the VSBA Annual Convention, which is November the 16th through the 18th. And we will ask the board to make a motion to change the school board meeting to Monday, November the 21st, after closed session. And also, like to recognize Mr. Damon Rasnick and Dr. Lurton Lyle. They have certificates near their seats. Mr. Damon Rasnick has been recognized award of recognition, 15 VSBA credits per year, and Dr. Lyle is his award is of distinction, 84 VSBA credits in 2 years. Dr. Lyle is invited to a special luncheon at the VSBA annual convention. So a special recognition and a special thank you to both Dr. Lyle and Mr. Rasnick. Thank you.
All right. All right, very good. So next thing is good news from our schools.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to introduce Portia Fletcher. Portia is our site coordinator for the Wolfpack After the Bell program, and we started the program 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, last Monday.
And I'd just like for Mrs. Fletcher to tell you about the program and what it's offering our students. We're very excited, and it's we just see this program growing and growing. So, Portia, thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. So right now, we're just trying to kind of fit all the pieces together to make it an enjoyable experience for the kids. So kind of what our evening looks like, at 3 o'clock, we meet in the auditorium. We go to the cafeteria, and we stay in there till about 3:30, and they're fed. And I do want to give a shout out to the cooks and Deborah Compton, because they are fed a warm meal like pizza or chicken nuggets, and so we appreciate that, and the kids do too, because at 3 o'clock, you know, they're starving again. So from there, we go to the second floor. That's kind of where our base is, and we do reading and math intervention for 30 minutes, and then we have a program called Second Step, and it teaches the students social emotional skills, how to deal with various things like bullying, social media, things like that, things that they know about more than us probably. And then we have physical education, and the kids get a treat because they get an hour of that every day. And that's kind of Monday through Wednesday. On Thursdays, it's changed a little bit because we have club meetings, and we have partners who are very thankful that partner with us who will be coming in. This Thursday, tomorrow, we have Kelly Rose with 4-H. She's going to be starting the Teen Cuisine program, and the Sheriff's Office are going to be coming in tomorrow, too, to talk to the kids about some things. So we're very excited. And the kids are too. I think last Thursday we ended on a high note with them. They got to make a pumpkin catapult out of popsicle sticks for the little mellow cream pumpkins, so they love that. So we're just exciting things, and I hope maybe in the future meetings, maybe we can have some pictures and photos and show you some of the activities and things they're doing, and maybe a meet the staff or something like that to kind of give you a little bit more information on it. Thank you.
Could you recognize the staff that's working with
Yes.
the program, please?
In our middle school, we have April Hay, Josh Kilgore, Sheila Wallace, Heather Rasnick, Caitlin Neely. In the high school, we have Jamie Villani and Amy Mullins. And I hope I didn't leave anybody out. We do have a couple more people who's interested, or just kind of seeing if it's going to fit into their schedule. We welcome them because, you know, things happen and we have to have people fill in. So we hope to grow with students and staff. That's kind of what our goal is. Thank you all.
Any questions? It's a wonderful program. We've had, we started out, and I think Portia shared with me that our goal is 50 children daily, and we're about 32, 33 students. The other issue, of course, is always transportation, and with the Wolfpack After the School program, we are providing transportation to our children, some to their school in their community, and some actually to their home. And so just a big shout out to Portia and the staff. We're thrilled and to have this opportunity for our children. Thank you. And she's going to need to go. All right. Thank you, Portia.
Good deal. Sounds like an exciting time.
It is. And at this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Martin, Karen Martin, to come and share with us about our enrollment and our attendance, and we have good news there also.
We do. I believe your packet is yellow, or the front page of it is yellow. And the numbers are a little deceiving, but they still look really good, so we're going to be positive. Last month, when we did August, remember, we started late, so those were our 10-day enrollment figures. So we are actually up 111 students from last month. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? But partly, those were some no-shows that we had to hunt down, and the schools did a fantastic job of finding those kids to say, hey, you know, school started, it's time to be in school. So we hunted those children down. And then also, we've had a drop in homeschool. So those kids are back in school. So some of those are new enrollees. So we see that. We'd also like to congratulate Ridgeview High School for the month of September. They have the highest percentage at 88.5. We're going to begin or reintroduce our attendance banner each month, and I'll be taking that to the high school tomorrow so they can put that on display for the month and show everyone that they won the attendance banner. I planned on having it here with me this evening, and things just got a little busy today, and I didn't dig it out of my closet, but I will take it to the school tomorrow. In your packet also, you have our enrollment as I know you like to see as far as the grades are concerned. So I've shared that with you, and I've also shared with you the percentages so that you can look back over the past 5 years and see the percentages. And then something that I know each of you like to look at is the actual withdrawals and entries that's in your packet. And the last page of the packet that we have for you, instead of giving you a rundown of the notes from the attendance committees, I did a little picture collage for you. There's at least 1 to 2 pictures from each school, that's your last page, of the incentives that the groups did, everywhere from snow cones to some of them went to pumpkin patches, the high schools doing T-shirts or gift cards. I think Clinton Elementary School's doing Happy Meals. The middle school's doing certificates and different gift cards and that sort of thing. Sand Lake did a pumpkin patch. So there's just a variety of pictures. I wanted you to be able to see the kids enjoying their incentives, so I shared that with you. And I guess at this time I'll ask, are there any questions that you have as far as our enrollment or with attendance?
Enjoyed the pictures?
You know, kids seem to be having a blast. Okay, hearing none, I thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. All right, so our next agenda item is the update on the Ridgeview Elementary. Move, Mr. Burge. I was looking for you over the enormous spot. I'm like, he's not here.
Yeah, I'm running a little behind today. Thank you for letting me be here again. The construction progress is continuing to move forward very well. On the exterior of the building, we are finally, they're about to fit. They had been waiting on some trim pieces. They got them installed, and almost all the ceramic has been installed so far. They will then start the metal panels, which I've been looking for 6 months, and we'll see what it's really going to look like. But they wound up hiring the same crew that's done the ceramic panels to install the metal panels as well. They also have been pouring the drive walk around back. The only thing left to pour back there is the dumpster pad as far as the heavy-duty paving sidewalk goes. They've done some, put in some topsoil around the building to help with getting that ready. And then they've actually started the canopy this week. So they have set some poles up. They were actually grouting one in a little earlier. So we should be seeing the canopy erected in the next week or so. Playground equipment, I have a picture on it a little later in the slides, but it's much further along now than it was there. They've made great progress in the past 3 or 4 days. It's probably halfway as far as the mulch and the equipment. It's probably at least halfway or better completed now. They have started working on the areas for the covered areas so that the kids can go out and have a class or whatever outside. In the inside of the building, they're continuing to finish some miscellaneous drywall, the hallway bump outs, if some of y'all have seen. They're still wrapping up the last few of those on the second floor. Most of them have been painted. They are installing casework in some of the classrooms now, and they're beginning to hook up the sinks in the classrooms. The ceiling grid is pretty much in except for the hallways now. The light fixtures are just about all dropped in. They're in the progress of wiring those up and getting them lit up and removing the temporary lights from inside. They've started installing the window sills in the classrooms. They are painting doors, door frames now, and hanging doors. They have been painting in the gym, and the lights are on in the gym. The three that got to visit today got to see the gym all lit up and the painting, so it's looking really good in there. Like I said, electricians are getting their work done. They're continuing to work on the communication wiring, the speaker system, the intercom. They've been pulling wire for that. They're trying to get, and once they get the classrooms all inside completed, they will start locking the doors so that nobody's going in there that they're unaware of. They have to come to them to get a key to get in, which will keep any vandalism or anything else that, or accidents that may happen in the classrooms, or dinging a wall or something. They turned this week, they turned on the gas yesterday to the building, and they starting up the heating units today, so that's going well. They'll take a few days to get those running. But things are moving really well. They started the mulch in the sediment, the pond out there yesterday. So things are continuing to head towards the final. I'm looking forward to seeing the siding on, and they're finishing up the curtain wall on the bus entrance side. All right, some photos. With this photo particularly here, this is in between the two buildings. The ceramic panels are much further along now than those that are here to the right, lower right. They've come on around the building with those. Next, I will comment here on the, getting ahead of myself, the addition. They have the walls framed in there. They are waiting on some lumber to go on the parapet cap now, and then they will start the roof on those two areas now. Like I said, the roof joists were set this month, and the decking installed. They are in the process of hooking up, installing roof drains, so when the roofer comes, they can get the water off of there. And then, of course, the electricians have been roughing in the walls. This is a picture of the addition. I think this is probably on the first floor. Next. The project remains in budget. And furniture, we got some more, but it's delivered and it's being stored at the supplier's warehouse. The classroom wing still remain on schedule and within budget. So everything is still progressing forward. This picture here is a corridor. On the second floor, off to the right there, the windows that look down onto the gym. Next. As far as progress photos, it looks a lot different out there today than this picture. They've got about half of that entrance curtain wall up now, and the posts that support the canopy are all in place. They just haven't finalized setting them and plumbing them up. Next. This is the guys installing the ceramic panels. They were actually here. They were installing the metal that goes underneath them. And I think this area has already had the ceramic panels installed since this picture was taken. Next. Another picture of the courtyard, between the buildings. Next. This is the kitchen side, drive, sidewalk, whatever you want to call it, being poured. Next. This is playground. Of course, the playground is much further along now. There's one set of swings set up over there. The other set is now set. There's some more equipment in place. And like I said, about half or better than half of the mulch has been installed and all the equipment that goes around it. So it's looking a lot different out there now. Next. This is a picture of the gym. You can see the blue stripe around the gymnasium there. And they've been working on lights, but it was lit up like a Christmas tree in there this afternoon. Next. Here's one of the classrooms. You see the casework installed, and the doors hanging there on the bathroom. So they are continuing to progress along as well. Next. Here's an electrician there working on getting the lights wired up and getting everything closed up above ceiling. And you can see some casework installed in here as well. Next. This is where the curb wall is at the cafeteria. They've been working on the bulkhead that the track goes in. So this is in progress now as well. Next. Here's a look down one of the corridors as well. You can see some of the colors popping out. It's a little blurry down on the other end. Next. And this again is that same picture we saw earlier in the classroom edition. Next. Here's another picture of the classroom edition. Next. I think that's it. Any questions? Comments? I'm real pleased how it's going, and look forward to getting some more of the finishes done, and getting some of the classrooms blocked up so that then we know, okay, that room's ready. We still will have to polish the floors and those type things, to do the final clean, but it's progressing nicely, I think. All right, thank y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burge. Next on the agenda is the Ridgeview Elementary School transition. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks and board members. I know that I'm asked some questions often from the public, about how many classrooms and how many square footage and how much money has it cost. And so I'd just like to share with you some of that information for your knowledge, so that when you're asked, which I'm sure you are, it's from the core funding for 28 classrooms was, of course, $24.5 million, which includes music, art, playground for older and younger students, transition classrooms, and spaces for occupational therapy and physical therapy, speech, and also self-contained classrooms. Approximately $5.1 million additional funds from ESSER is being used to add 6 additional classrooms, and for a total of 34 classrooms. The total square footage is going to be 77,826 square footage, and the 28 classrooms should be completed in December and January, correct? And then the additional 6 classrooms completed in April, May. So for a total of 34 classrooms there. I know that this is October, but as we have talked in our discussions, August will be here before we know it, and in a blink. So we would like to share with you just a timeline for the Ridgeview Elementary School transition. We're looking at ribbon cutting sometime in either late May, June, or through August 2023, depending on construction scheduling. Some of the determining factors that we have already started discussing was the number of available classrooms. With the 32 classrooms available, we know that we can have, and our goal is to have every classroom filled. We are in our leadership teams and with our administrators talking about how to transition grade levels from all 3 schools into Ridgeview Elementary School, and then still have the transition for our Irvington and Sand Lake Elementary Schools. So we're quite busy doing that. Just a point is that we've discussed our plans, our proposed plans, with the Corps of Engineers, and so far they approve it wholeheartedly. In December, we would like to identify the administrative staff for Ridgeview Elementary School so that they can begin working and helping us to identify staff. The staff for pre-K through 5, we hope to identify in February and March of 2023. We are continually finalizing our educational instructional program. We are looking at finalizing transportation bus runs in April and May. Teacher moving plan in May and June of 2023, and that is an agenda item on our weekly Skanska call. And then, of course, demolishing Sand Lake Elementary School as soon as possible to meet the contractual obligations that we have with the Corps. Mr. Wallace and his staff are working hard on the technology, and they're going to be ready, is that correct, Mr. Wallace? To begin installing the technology that will be going into our new school. As Mr. Burgess said, the furniture is all delivered for all 34 classrooms. And so they're being stored, but they will be moved to the new elementary school sometime in January or February. Is that correct? January, thank you. Other considerations for us are summer school schedule. As you know, we now have a 6-week summer school schedule, and so we are working through with Irvington and also Sand Lake about their summer school schedule and what is the best location, and do we need to make any changes. So this plan is evolving. It will continue to evolve. We will have an update on the Ridgeview Elementary School transition every month from now until the end of school. And again, it's a moving target. But I would like to thank our leadership team and our administrators about all of the discussions that we've had, and all of the planning that has taken place. More planning will, of course, have to take place. Let me stop there and see if there's any questions or anything specifically from the board that I may assist with. So we will keep you informed as we go along. Again, please, we will ask, of course, for the board's input, and the pleasure of the board as we move forward will, of course, determine many of these things. So, Mr. Hicks, thank you very much, sir, and board members.
Thank you. Our next item is the Dixon County Public Schools proposed staff stipend. Ms. Taylor.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This is listed as, I think it's agenda item J, but I like to call it good news from finance, because we don't get to do that very often.
No, you don't.
You have some pages in your packet there. I think they start on blue paper. Thank you, Tanya, for designating those for us. As you're aware, the budget for fiscal year 22-23 from the Commonwealth of Virginia, it included ARPA federal pandemic funds for the purpose of a December bonus payment. The amount that was designated for Dickinson County was $218,077.37. These funds were designated to provide a $1,000 bonus plus the 7.65% applicable employer FICA, and that is for each full-time SOQ position that is funded by the state. The state is funding 202.58 SOQ positions for fiscal year 22-23. You're also aware, I'm sure, that we have 295.4 employees that are designated as full-time. So that's quite a difference over the 202.58 SOQ funded. The proposed stipend that you have in your packet is to include all of our 295.4 full-time employees with a stipend amount of $1,000. Now, the additional cost to provide that stipend over what is funded through the ARPA federal pandemic funds for that is $99,920.73. Dickinson County Public Schools also currently has 73 hired part-time employees and designated long-term substitute teachers. The state funding does not include any part-time positions. Our proposed stipend for December of 2022 includes these 73 employees with a stipend amount of $500. The additional cost to provide this portion of the stipend with the applicable FICA is $38,754. To look at the stipend in total, we are proposing that this be paid out on December 9th, 2022. The additional funding beyond what the state is sending is $136,674.73. This is an ARPA-funded bonus through the state. The match is allowable under ESSER guidelines, and we have included that as the secondary funding source for that $136,674.73. On the second page, you'll see a breakdown that just shows our full-time employee count and part-time employee counts by positions, so you can see where those stipend dollars are going. The stipulation that we would like to place on receiving the stipend is that you must be employed with Dickinson County Public Schools on December 1st, 2022 to receive that. The third page is just the Virginia Department of Education notice that shows how much each individual school division was allotted based on their SOQ-funded positions. So I included that for you so you could look at where Dickinson County is receiving that funding based on the SOQ positions compared to other divisions. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer those for you now. Otherwise, we would just need to decide, if you want to move forward and go ahead and approve this at this meeting, or if it's something that we need to look at over the next month, preferably. If the payment is going to be sent out December 9th, we do kind of need this set in stone so our payroll clerk can make the arrangements to make sure that we do pay it on December the 9th.
Anybody have any questions for Ms. Taylor? Now, do I have a motion to approve the staff stipends as presented?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you.
All right, so at this time, we have board comments. Mr. Mullins, you'd like to start us off?
Well, I'd like to commend Mr. Rasnick and Dr. Lyle for all their hard work and dedication. We're very blessed to have them part of us. And I'd like to commend the successes of the Wolfpack After the Bell program. It's been really successful, and everybody's worked really hard for that. And the numbers are up for the school. That's really a good thing. And we've got extra money for full and part-time employees with stipends. That's really good. And, that's better than the UT football program was last Saturday night. So,
There might be some discussion on the... No, I just said that.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir.
Erase that last statement of mine.
It's
Please.
too late, sir.
I'm glad to see the construction moving along. Looking forward to when we put the new elementary school to use as we're planning or arranging. Also, glad for the After the Bell program. It seems to be working good. Looking forward to the transition into the new elementary. And I guess that's it.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank Mr. Burge for taking me and Mr. Hackney and Mr. Mullins out to the look through the school this afternoon. It's very impressive. The most impressive thing I saw was before we got in the door was that playground. It's really looking good, and it was really exciting. And as you guys saw from the pictures there, I was really kind of blown away once you get into one of those finished classrooms of how nice and spacious, and it's going to be really exciting for our students and teachers and things when they get in there, of just what a great facility that they're going to have and be able to enjoy for a long time. I'd say hats off again to Dr. Lyle and Mr. Rasnick for your guys' work in DSBA. I don't think we compensate you for that at all, so that's you doing that on your own, so we appreciate that. I was excited about the After the Bell program last month, I'm just being involved in one once before, and so I didn't realize it was going to be so fast, and so they've really moved along and got some great things going there. Like I said, we're blessed to be able to do these stipends. I know it's a little different than it was before, primarily because this money comes out of different pots than what it was the last few times that we've done this, but it's still a blessing to be able to do it, and I'm appreciative of it. I think that's all I got.
I'd like to say thanks to all the teachers and all the personnel that work with our children, hoping that everybody will come together in good spirit and harmony and do the very best they can to help move our children along. I know everybody's seen the news regarding schools around the country, and there's good reason for that, but still it's kind of a deep sadness that kind of comes along when you find that kids are set back because of all the schools been missed. I hope that we can catch up in a very good way. Mr. Burge gives such a good description of this building, it almost makes you want to go out there and look at it every day. Everything's changing so fast and looks so good. But I certainly appreciate the good work's been done out there as well, and hope it all comes together in a good way for our students for a long, long time.
I also thank Mr. Burge for the tour. Everything's looking great, coming along very nicely. Also commend Mr. Rasnick and Dr. Lyle for their recognition, VSBA. And I'll give a shout out to our chairman tonight, Mr. Hicks. The pace was really good. It's not even 6 o'clock yet, so good job.
Well, Mr. Rasnick held us up just a little bit. Not to mention any names.
It could have been a lot worse.
We're glad you're here. Sure. All right, that would end our board comments. Now time to go into closed session. So closed session pursuant of section 2.2-3711, paragraph A of the Code of Virginia, there will be a closed session for the purpose of, 1, employment issues related to discussion or consideration of specific individuals for employment as a biology teacher, custodian, part-time aides, substitutes, coaches, FMLA resignations, and retirements pursuant to Virginia Code section 2.2-3711A1. Student early graduation request pursuant to Virginia Code section 2.2-3711A2. And 3, to consult with legal counsel regarding the investment of public funds associated with school construction and consultation regarding actual or probable litigation, along with consultation regarding specific matters requiring legal advice pursuant to Virginia Code section 2.2-3711A 6, 7, and 8 of the Code of Virginia. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Do I hear a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are now out of closed session. Ms. Robinson, will you please read the certification?
Yes, sir. Whereas the Dickinson County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this day pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with the Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dickinson County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only the public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed, and 2, only such public matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered. Would you please certify?
I certify.
I'll certify.
I certify.
I certify.
Okay. Are there any motions from closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I move the board approve the employment recommendations as presented in executive session.
Do I hear a second?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Any other motions from closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I move the board approve the student request for early graduation after the students meet the necessary requirements for early graduation for students 1-000000099, student 1-00833, student 1-000002533. And for the end of year, student 1-000003431.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Mr. Chair, if we could have a motion to reschedule the November school board meeting to Monday, November the 21st, since the original date of November the 16th, 2 of our board members will be attending the VSBA conference in Williamsburg, sir.
I move to reschedule the meeting.
Second.
That will be at 21st at 5 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Not 5:30. I don't know where we're at here. I think we have a motion and a second.
We do.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There we go. Do we have any other business to discuss? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?